No matter where you come from, no matter where you're going, here's a place where you can take comfort in the knowing that whether if you've come to stay a while or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come, love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white, gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you. If there's some kind of trouble or pain you're going through, know that you are not alone and someone cares for you. As an individualization of divine point of view, this door is open to you. This door is open. This door right here is open for you. This door is open to you. This door is open. I'm talking about this door. This door is open. I said this door is open to you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. The God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Unity. You guys all look so fun in your sweaters, and I think there's even a Christmas elf that has joined us.
He's talking to people.
Once a tiny baby slept beneath the stars of a long dark night. This child, in answer to our prayers, our hopes and dreams, and longing for the light. Welcome to my heart, sweet and holy child. Shine your light on me, Emmanuel. Welcome to my heart, sweet and holy child. Shine your light on me, Emmanuel. And now the time has come to celebrate this baby's birth and vow to do our best to bear his light upon the earth. Welcome to my heart, sweet and holy child, shine your light on me, Emmanuel. Welcome to my heart, sweet and holy child, shine your light on me, Emmanuel. Welcome to my heart, sweet and holy child, shine your light on me, Emmanuel. 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 Emmanuel.
Oh, thank you, thank you. And we welcome you this morning to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland as we gather in this space. And we also welcome our virtual family. And we know that that birth, that sacred birth that we are celebrating at this time is both a birth that happened 2,000 years ago, and it's the birth in our heart of a larger story, a deeper understanding, a realization that where we walk and how we walk and what we're called to do this day is a larger understanding. And sometimes we don't have a name for it. We can just, my hands just begin to hold this space. And I would just invite every one of us in our hearts to begin to hold a space for the birth of something larger that we may not even have the ability to articulate yet. But we know that it's there, and we know that it's a sacred call. In just a moment, we're going to open this service in prayer. And wherever you've been and whatever your journey has been up to this point, I would just invite you to remember that the presence and power that you may call God or infinite wisdom or divine love or whatever it is, that God of your understanding is both within every being and it's around every being. We live and move and have our being within a quantum field of energy, and that energy lives as us now. And so when we begin the service in prayer, I believe what we're doing is coming home. We're opening our hearts in a way that we may not have allowed anybody hoping to avoid pain in their lives sometime. We didn't get anybody to say yes, but okay, we have one. But this idea of I don't know how to manage where I am. Life breaks us open, and it invites us in to be awake to the truth of our being and the truth in humanity. And that's where we are. And so the ability to open our hearts in that which we understand and that which we don't yet understand is a gift. And so as we begin this service in prayer, I just invite you to open to the love that you are, to the sacredness of this journey we're on, and to gathering together. Let's begin this service in prayer. Infinite Spirit, we open our hearts, our minds, our beings to a deeper understanding of the sacred, eternal story of awakening, of love, to the birth of that blessing, that gift of love within every moment, within every journey. We open to the breath that reminds us we can always move into that sacred cycle of the breath and know we are one with all that is, one with a love that vibrates through our being and every being, and one with all humanity in a desire to find that love and live that love and be that love and connect in that love. And for this opportunity to gather this morning, holding every being who has questioned why, where do I go, what do I do, who desires shelter and food and water and kindness. We open to every being, knowing I am because you are. Ubuntu, together we are one. And this day we hold that space in our heart, in our being. We are one. And so it is. Amen. And Beth has lots to share.
I think I got recruited to drive the sleigh today. Happy solstice, everybody. Welcome the return of light. We are so grateful. Yes. All right. Unity of Portland was founded on affirmative prayer, reminding people for 100 years that the light is within them. And our prayer chaplains are available to pray with you and remind you of that following the service today. This morning we have Patricia and Lynn who are available following the service. You can also submit a prayer request. Those are in the backs of your chairs. Dial a prayer is available during the week. I don't know about you, but I've had to call it a couple times last week. And we have Sunday morning guided meditation each week in the chapel at 10:30. And that's a wonderful way to get calm and center at the beginning of the week. So 'tis the season of ceremony. Christmas Eve candlelight service is this Wednesday, 5 p.m. here in the sanctuary. We had a beautiful, beautiful service on Friday night. The music is spectacular. Please join us this Wednesday. Childcare is available. Our Burning Bowl Intention service is on New Year's Eve. That's Wednesday, December the 31st, 7 p.m. We release what no longer serves us, and we prepare for the new year. And for those of us who no longer stay up till midnight to welcome in the new year, we'll have a small little party downstairs following the service. So bring an appetizer or a snack, and we'll all toast to the new year. Then on the first Sunday in January, we continue that process with the White Stone Ceremony. This is where through meditation, a word is revealed to us, and we carry that word through the year. And after the service on that Sunday, January the 4th, George Weatherford, another one of our prayer chaplains, is taking you on a visioning quest at an after-the-service workshop. So come and reveal your spirit's highest vision for your life. $25 love offering for that workshop on the 4th. All of the 2026 January classes are up and posted with registration links in your newsletter, on the website. There's more details there and on the sign-ups in the lobby tables. Reverend Lisa's doing an 8-week class on Tuesdays beginning January the 13th based on the book Real Love, where you'll discover how to unblock the things that stand in the way of living love, which is what we're all intended to do. This is in person and on Zoom. Cost is $100 or $15 per class. Also happening again this year is A Year to Live. This is based on the book by Stephen Levine. Fascinating once-a-month class with Lynn Soden and Suzanne Mulcahy, where they will walk you through all the things that you want to give thought to if you had 1 year to live. This is a $120 investment or $10 a month. And as you know, we have an image book play shop coming up. You've been hearing about that for a couple of weeks. Valuable tool to manifest things in your life. We're so pleased to have that play shop for 2026, led by Claire Grayson. It's a 12-week experiential journey. And today, following the service, Reverend Lisa and Claire are going to be in the chapel. They're going to do a brief introduction about what this is all about. If you have questions, come and find out more about that. LGBTQ plus and allies will meet next Sunday following the service. And I want to give you a save the date. We've been talking about doing this for a very long time, but we're going to have a board game afternoon. Perfect thing for January, right? It's a perfect thing to do in January. So that is going to be on Saturday, January the 17th. And that and everything that's coming up, you can see on the website. If you click on events, details on everything that's coming up. So I do hope you'll check that out and find out more about what's happening, what's coming up. All right. I've been keeping you updated on the switch from push pay to breeze. Last week we were at 41. This week we're at 22. It's happening, it's happening. We're very excited, we're very excited. Lori will be out there at the table today. Ironically, on the list, there's about 7 people who I see pretty regularly here on Sundays. So if you're one of those people, go talk to her today. We don't want to have to make phone calls during the holidays. Don't make us do that. Go talk to Lori. Let's get you switched over. And all of the weekly groups are on holiday hiatus this week and are not meeting. And the office will be closed from the 24th until the 5th. We will be here for midweek services and Sundays, but we'll be working from home the rest of the time. So we appreciate your understanding with that. And I think I didn't bring my welcome packet up here again this week. That's 2 weeks in a row. I don't know what happened to it. Anyway, if you're here for the first time, we hope you got a welcome packet on your way in. If you didn't, now's the time. Just raise your hand, hold it up high. Our ushers have a handful of those. They'd love to put one in your hands if you didn't get one. There's a yellow card on the back. We'd love for you to fill that out. That gets you on our newsletter mailing list that comes in the email. And it'll get you a call if you so desire that. On the back, there's a bunch of service opportunities that are listed. That's how we get plugged into community here. Red Rose sticker on the front. We'd love for you to stick that to your name tag, and we invite you to come downstairs after the service, join us for coffee and connection. Happy holidays to everybody, and we hope to see you this Christmas Eve. Thank you.
Thank you, Beth. And we do want to take just a moment to welcome all of you who are here for the first time or a second time, or you're just getting used to it or just getting back. I want you to know that wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you're welcome here. We believe that each of us is an infinite creation of spirit, and we're right where we need to be and learning to expand and to move through this sacred journey that we're on. If the words that you hear this morning work for you, I would encourage you to become a part. It's so important to keep reminding ourselves of this spiritual journey and who we are, and to have a community around us that knows the truth of who we are and supports that. So if it works for you, please become a part. If it does not work for you, I would encourage you to continue seeking. Find a place that does recognize the truth of who you are and calls it out and reminds you. It's such an important time right now. And we are going to stand and sing.
Get your joy ready. We're going to feel it. We're going to look around and see it. Then we're going to know it.
All right. And I just invite you to turn to those around you with a namaste, a welcome. It's so good to have you here. Learn another name. And we are going to take a moment. Phoenix. We're going to take a moment and light our Advent candles. You know, this past month we've been talking about and celebrating the season of Advent, and many of you have talked about lighting candles at home to remind you of this as we move into the darker times, that we can always bring light into that darkness. And so today we're going to light all of these candles. The first one for hope. Hope is not so much about our future prospects or what good we think life may hold for us. Instead, it is a container, an inner container, in which we can hold a space for something we don't yet understand. We can create it with our faith. It's, I often say it's an inner capacity to build a future beyond what we can imagine. But many times we say, I'll have hope if life looks like this. Instead, life says, I invite you to know hope is determined by inner conditions and inner ideas. And so as we look at that idea, we move on to that second candle, which is the candle for peace. The second week we talked about peace, and these are adding ideas, spiritual ideas. And peace is definitely true harmony and tranquility. But I believe, especially in difficult times, we're asked to have a peace that passes all understanding. And right now is one of those. Can we anchor ourselves without knowing what happens out there to the truth that we are one with God, with the infinite, with light, with life? And that is always the invitation. And the third week, and thank you, Phoenix, for doing this so beautifully, we light that candle for love. Adding the quality of love. That, as the Dalai Lama says, love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. And we might say they need love. But the invitation during this time is to also hold that space of knowing that love, as the truth of our being, is the healing, harmonizing power of the universe. And it will heal us from within. It will remind us of the truth of who we are. And today we light that candle for the fourth quality, which is joy. And joy, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin said, and I use this so often, joy is the ever-increasing awareness of the presence of God. Can I find God in this? Can I find God in life? Can I find that larger picture? But I want to add more, and we're going to go into it later. But this idea of I can find in this sacred journey, even when it breaks me open and it's difficult, I can find something more. And Reverend David Alexander left a quote, and we'll look at some of his work, but he said, "Joy is what refuses to be erased. It won't give in or give up. It's the part that says, of course I'm enough for this. Of course there's something in me that is more than this." And so I would just invite you, as we hold these ideas sacred, that we remember we have that story and that journey within us. All right, and we're going to move into our time of meditation and that sacred breath.
I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright, I illuminate the darkness.
As we relax our bodies, quieting our minds on this sacred solstice day, this day, the darkest day of the year, we move within and know that I am light. I can allow that light to be within my being. I contemplate that. When I may want light in the outer, and I breathe in the light of the infinite. As we rest in the silence, the knowing I am the light, I am the light, is always the invitation in the silence. And within every breath, we recognize that in the darkness, there is sacred, sacred time for knowing that we have come as one, as light, as love, and that every step we take is the invitation to be the light. And for this awareness and for the willingness to allow joy to express in, through, and as us now, we say thank you, Infinite Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
I am a light. I shine so bright. I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright. I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright. I shine so bright. I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright. I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright. I illuminate the darkness. I am a light. I shine so bright. I illuminate the darkness.
As we come out of our meditation, I invite you to take in the trees over here. Was it the first week of Advent was the remembrance service? Second week? And people came and they put stars on the tree for those that they're remembering this year. So on the tree is a star for the man my daughter's called Grandpa, who I lost this year. My buddy Sawyer, who I lost this year. And my son, who I lost 2.5 years ago. And this song, I started singing it last year, and I sing it for my son Rocky, and I sing it for my grandson Logan and my daughter Harmony, who are here today. Because we need to remember where our joy is, not just where our grief is, but where our joy is. So enjoy this song. I brought my tree down to the shore, the garland and the silver star, to find my peace and grieve no more, to heal this place inside my heart. One tiny child can change the world. One shining light can show the way. Through all my tears for what I've lost, there's still my joy. There's still my joy for Christmas Christmas Day. The snow comes down on empty sand. The tinsel moon lights up the waves. My soul was lost, but here I am. So this must be amazing grace. One tiny child can change the world. One shining light can show the way through all my tears for what I've lost. There's still my joy. There's still my joy, a Christmas Day. There's still my joy on Christmas Day.
Thank you, Phoenix. Thank you, Susan, and to all of our wonderful music team that come up here with just such joy and such life over and over again and share these gifts with us. Thank you, thank you. So how have we found joy this month, in this Christmas holiday season? Have we found joy in our year? Where are we with this idea of joy? I want to talk about it right now because sometimes we haven't. Sometimes we say, where is it? Or it's difficult to find that and to say, this has been grief. And to be present and available. And to know that there's also this ability to allow life to transform us at depth. And to know that joy is a part of that. It's a part of life as we stand and meet where we are and what is happening. And yet we can get caught up in the outer appearances. And if we think, and many of us were raised that joy comes when you get a present or something happens that you like, or you get this or you get that or you get that. And yet, can we find a larger picture? You know, I said earlier today that Pierre Teilhard de Chardin talked about the idea that joy is an ever-increasing awareness of the presence of God. But we can also use that and say, I'm only looking at God. I'm not looking at anything else. Has anybody in this room ever done that? There are at least 3 of us. That idea that we can say, I just can't do any of the other. Did you notice life is saying open? It's breaking us open in places we may not want. And there are times when I have to say, what is the God in this? What is the good in this? Where do I find it? Because it's part of that ever-increasing awareness of the presence of God, but I want to be present. I want to be available because, I don't know about you, but I know when I've gone through really, really tough times, I don't want to set up my tent and live there. You know, we have to go through these times. We have to go through what's happening in our world right now. We wouldn't be here otherwise. So somewhere in there, there's something more to happen. And you know, I was thinking about it. When Pierre Teilhard de Chardin wrote that line, he was a Catholic priest. He was a Jesuit priest. He was a young man who had a belief so strong in that he'd not only become a scientist, he was a paleontologist, he had a couple other degrees, and his whole thing was to look at the history of humanity and how we had risen. And he was exiled from the Catholic Church. His friends and colleagues ridiculed him. And if they could have found a place further away than where he was, where the Peking Man was discovered. That's where they exiled him to. And isn't it interesting that the Peking Man was discovered and he was a part of that exploration? Anything they did to shut him down, they just kept sending him to other countries and other remote villages, and something would happen that would take him further. But he was writing about joy, even in the midst of a life that didn't make sense and you didn't understand. And so as we move through these times, and I believe that, Buddha said, awaken. And Reverend Dick, I said, what would you like to be on? We planted a tree. I said, what would you like to be in front of that? And he said, I am awake. That is the only thing he'd like to be remembered for. And he goes, no. He goes, I just want the word awake. Be present, be available to what it is, to learn. But, this week with both the decisions about stopping medical support for trans youth, for what's happening with ICE and the different pieces, they can take us and we can feel like, how do I move through this? And I don't know about you, but I'm very clear they're calling for us to stand forth in the midst of this. And as I was driving here, I thought, when a society and a country have ideas such as, or a religion, that every being is a sinner, that's one right there. Do we think they go away magically? Somewhere the light has to come on, and we have to say, no, that's not me. And when we've had a tradition of slavery or of othering or of living a journey that isn't safe for every being, and every being doesn't have housing and food and water and safety, we can't just not show up. It's like somewhere in there, we have to be a part of allowing the blinders to come off. And so that idea being broken open happens with new history, with new learning, with new understanding, with the realization, oh my gosh, that's what privilege looks like. This is where I've been encased and I haven't understood the whole story. And I didn't know it. And so I've been a part of it simply by being alive and in this country. And so if you were born in this country or if you've lived here, you're a part of the story and a part of the breaking open so that we can find a larger story for ourselves. And I talk about that story so often, but it starts in little pieces inside of ourselves. And it is, I don't know about you, but some of these pieces that have fallen away are painful. They are painful. And I can feel guilty for desiring to feel the holidays and the joy and the ability to allow a larger birth when stuff has just fallen away. And I know Greg Braden talked to me one time. We were sitting there and he said, during difficult times, so many souls decide to leave this planet. He said their work is done and they don't need to be here. And he said, and it happens before, and it happens during, and it happens right after. And he said, it's just this falling away. And he said, and it's not fun or easy, but it teaches us if we'll allow ourselves to be a part of it and to realize this is the sacred part. And the Sunday of talking on joy has been the hardest one for me in probably the last 10 or 12 years. I've just been like, for so much of my life, it was easy to say, I find joy. There is life, there is love, there is presence and power, and I can just look at it and live that. And right now, it's coming to the surface to where, and I realized very soon, you go through grief, you go through some of the pieces, and that breaks you open, and you realize there's two different stories here. And so it's been harder and harder to talk on some of the universal principles of joy. Because sometimes they're spiritual bypassing. Sometimes they're saying, just look at the good, just look at God, just look at good. And I find I get to look at God, get to look at good, I get to find some of the pieces, and then I get to look for something more. And I want to use I want to use some from, I'll go into Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and I want to also use Reverend David Alexander, which I realize he's not here this morning, but he's been attending, and so he might not be used to being quoted in this community, but he was the one who came up for his work. His work, it's on Substack, and it's on liberation theology, and he said, joy is what refuses to be erased. And I want every one of us to know that we have joy within us, and that there is a refusing to be erased when we can find something more. And he said, by the third week of Advent, something subtle but unmistakable begins to shift, and we're in the fourth week celebrating this idea. He said, the darkness hasn't lifted, and the world has not suddenly become gentler, yet there is a strange insistence emerging. Life continues to press forward and presses through us, and we can find some of that joy. And he said, it's this idea of these Advent candles are a visual reminder that joy does not arrive after the struggle's over. It arrives within it. If you're in a struggle right now, I would invite you to welcome the possibility of joy as you are a part of this. Hi, welcome. And so that idea of joy not being suspect, sometimes we can say, where do I go with this? What is it? In our time, and this is David, joy has become suspect. It is often dismissed as naive, escapist, or disconnected from the real work, the real justice work, the work of the wounds, of how do we heal our world. And he said, and yet every movement towards liberation has discovered the same paradox. Without joy, the work does not survive. Without finding the beauty in the story of humanity and where we are. And he said, joy is not the opposite of grief. Joy is what keeps grief from hollowing us out. Joy is what keeps grief from hollowing us out. Let this sit for just a moment. Joy is what is present and available at every moment in our lives. I know Dr. Christiane Northrup said we have to plan for joy also. And we have to call it forth, and we have to say, I'm willing to experience this even when we don't understand it. Okay, Mark, am I going to embarrass you too much? Will you stand up for a moment? This has been a great deal of joy. Turn around and let people see you. Yes, this is Buddy. He has come. This was not planned. Yes. But I have to say, as he has come, I'm thank you for allowing me. I'm hoping he'll still speak to me tomorrow. But that's a type of joy that is possible when we play. It doesn't mean the other pieces aren't there, but play is a part of this. Play is who we are and how we live and how we find spirit, infinite love in the midst of all the stuff. Joy is not a result of outer conditions. It is a position of the heart. I want to talk about that. It's not a result of outer conditions. It is a position of the heart. And as she said, we have to plan for it. How many of us have busy schedules? Anybody in here have busy schedules? Okay, I know Drew was the first one. Yes, it's like we do. We have these lists. Did we have time for joy? Have we said there is time for joy? One of the greatest gifts I received was when I went to Nigeria. And at that time, Nigeria, while it ranked as one of the lowest of safety, of indoor plumbing, of systems in cities that allowed, there was no sewer system anywhere that I saw. And if there was one in Lagos, which I assume there had to be, the rest of the Lagos was flooded so bad people were taking boats to their little tin shacks. And so the idea of joy, I just kept thinking, they were also listed as one of the happiest countries on this planet. And I thought, one of the happiest people on this planet. How can that be? And when I looked around, everything, the people I was with were happy. They were thrilled to be alive. Not one of the village churches that I went to, which were about 19 of them, had indoor plumbing. I didn't figure out where anybody used the bathroom on any of those. And they kept giving me water because that was what they thought we wanted. And I just kept saying, thank you, and not drinking it because I didn't know anyway, you don't need to know any of that. We don't need to go through that. But that was my plan. I ended up with lots of water. So, but how did they find joy? I looked at it and I kept thinking, where is that joy coming from? And one of the women, she just said, we're alive, and they put me in beautiful, beautiful dresses and head wear that just was so sacred. Usually I ended up with a migraine because they put it so tight. And I said, what are you doing? And they just said, it's so beautiful. We want it to stay where you are. And these experiences with people who they loved each other. Now, mind you, in Unity, there are 4 tribes, in Nigeria, there are 4 main tribes and dialects. In Unity, all of them gather in peace, where they have not in the rest of the country. And one of the village chiefs asked me that. He said, I don't know what it is about the Unity people, but they've always joined me and helped me in finding peace and bringing care to the other people in the village. And I realized it's a belief that the divine is in every being. And they took it seriously, even when there's nothing around them that would support them. And so I would just invite you. In fact, you know what, Leah, can we go ahead and show those? I was going to show them at the end, but we're going to show these. Some of you know the work we do in Nigeria, and we've done it here for about 19 years. It's called Building Bridges. We've created 4 libraries. We have sent, several hundred girls to school, middle school age girls to school. We've also helped, this year we helped 15 Nigerian ministers get ordained simply by, we sent them books because they don't have the books. We paid for their registration fees for that. And this is this year's girls that we sent to school from our tithes here. These are, now some of them are a little small. And I asked her, I said, I thought these were middle school age girls. And she said, oh, those were the girls whose sisters were out in the field working. She said they couldn't come to the children's convention, they call this, but the week retreat because they couldn't just leave. And so we asked their younger sisters to come. And so there are a few of them in the front that are representing another sister. But these beautiful beings, and some of you may know, we're a tithing community, and we send a portion of our tithes to Nigeria. It costs about $200 a year to send a middle school age girl to school. And so we have decided that was one of the places we would like to tithe. These are all members of Unity churches, and they were gathering for that. Can we go? And this is the Children's Convention. Unity headquarters now pays for this, and their tithes go to that. We have done this in the past, and it has moved to Unity World Headquarters. But these are the children gathering from all over. What is fascinating is that they are given a polo shirt, which is a school uniform. So they get a polo shirt. I don't think it matters what color, but you have to have the shirt to go to school. That's one of the things. They're given different markers and different paper and things that they can use in school. And this is just simply some of the joy. Thank you I just want you to see some of that we have an opportunity to be a part of. But these youth, and these were some of the girls in another arrangement, I believe, but they're just delightful. And they find joy in ways that I can't even begin to describe to you. And so I just want us to breathe in. By the way, for those of you who have met Reverend Ada, she is the very last person in this slide off to your left. But she is the one she's been here. She is, in fact, this year she was elected president of Unity Church Nigeria. I'm not going to go in. Let's just say this is the first time a woman has ever been president of Unity Church Nigeria. So I'm very grateful. They have about 55 different centers, and we just simply continue to work with them and say, how may we use our money? But I want to talk about that idea of joy, because when beings find joy, it's a decision. It's a decision. When we find difficult times, how do we decide that there's value and worth in these times and that we have something larger within us? You know, I want to go back to David Alexander. He said, joy in the lie of cheerfulness. It's important to name what joy is not. Joy is not cheerfulness. It is not positivity. It is not the brittle insistence that everything is fine when it clearly is not. Much of what passes for joy in spiritual circles is little more than, and he says, emotional bypassing, a refusal to sit with complexity, pain, or anger. As a being, we're being asked to sit with complexity, pain, and anger. And it breaks us open. But if we will breathe it in and know it's not the truth of us, it's just what's required right now to continue to expand, to know. And he went in to saying, the joy of Advent invites us into far older and far more resilient ways. It's the kind of joy that emerges not from circumstances, but from connection. Connection to meaning, connection to belonging, connection to each other. And so there's a joy in finding ourselves in community. And he said, to the pulse of life that persists even under pressure. Something is asking to be birthed here. And it's asking every one of us to take off old ways of seeing and being and to know there's something more underneath. And he said, this joy is not fragile. It does not evaporate at the first sign of difficulty. So when everything goes out the window, that's not the truth of our being. That's the stuff that we put around it. Instead, it's something more. And he said it's forged precisely where life is most threatened, where life has in the past not been held. And he said joy is a collective survival practice. If we look honestly at history, joy has rarely belonged first to the comfortable. We got so comfortable in this country, and yet there was very little joy. When I looked at that list for Nigeria, we were so far down on it for the United States, I was shocked. Look at those who drive around you. Is there joy? Is there peace? Is there presence? So somewhere, and he said, it's been cultivated most intentionally by those whose humanity was denied. Enslaved people sang, oppressed communities danced, marginalized cultures created beauty in the face of erasure. These were not distractions from suffering, they were strategies of survival. They were the ways to move through. And what if right now, even when we feel like, how do I do this? I see this, and yet what do I do? I'm so sad, and yet I want to know more. I want to feel more. And often we say, I don't want to lose my way of life. I don't want to lose what I did have. I don't know where that has to go. But I know this, we can hold a story that's larger. Martin Luther King asked us to hold a story. He was shifting his movement to the Poor People's Campaign. He said this actually has to do with the income level of people in this country, the people who don't have enough. And he said when we lift that, and you find it in countries around the world, everyone else is lifted. Everyone else is lifted. These are ideas that are evolutionary, and it's the seed that's planted in the darkness. And so joy says, you haven't taken my soul. So sometimes we got to plow through there and say, there's a soul in here that said yes to being born, that said yes to saying there's more than a religion that says I'm this. There's something more. And we just got to keep going. And sometimes I'd like an easier answer. Anybody else? We'd like an easier answer. But if it's not there, we get to realize it's something more. Charles Fillmore taught very clearly. First of all, he talked a lot about what happens when you put the seed into the soil. And that it was a vitalizing time for that seed. The seed had everything it needed to grow and to bloom, but it stayed in the soil during the darkest times of the year. And he said, joy is innate, not earned. It resides in the soul, not in the external conditions. It's a part, in fact, he believed it was a faculty, it was a power within our being. At 92, he said, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm as I spring forth with a mighty faith to do that which is to be done by me today. What would happen if we started every day there? You might not be at 92 yet, but I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm. And I spring forth with a mighty faith, with a belief to do all that is to be done by me this day. And sometimes what's to be done by us is not the outer stuff. Sometimes it's the inner. I love you. Because Myrtle came and she said, joy is an emotion of connecting. And she said it may be sitting with someone who may not be long for this world, but it's sitting as joy in the midst of the journey. And so I just invite every one of us during this time to know we're not here by mistake. And whatever is happening is an invitation to know the sacred journey. Mary and Joseph walked a sacred journey. We are on that sacred journey. The way is bumpy. There's not a room at the inn. And yet, there's the perfect birth that's being asked of us. And to just know you are that Christmas story. Thank you. You know, one of the places where I first received and realized that I could create joy was with my image book. And I'm just, in just a moment, we're going to hear something from a board member, but I just wanted to say that I put on the front of mine, happy to be me, at a time when I was not happy to be me. I was in the middle of the Midwest, a place I didn't understand. I had dropped out of college. I was very ill, and all I could think of was, I have to find a different place inside of me, and that's the eternal invitation. Joe Cesarato is going to come up and speak. So we are having him come up and just share a little bit about our giving campaign. Thank you, Joe.
Well, thank you very much. I'm going to start with a joke. I was kind of hesitant about doing this one because I don't want to insult anybody, but I'm going to do it anyways. About 20 years ago, at the U.S. Treasury, they were printing the bills, and inadvertently, it happens all the time, bills fall to the ground. So a 20 fell to the ground, a 10 fell to the ground, a 5 fell to the ground, and a dollar bill fell to the ground. So they became good friends and visited. Well, 20 years later, we're back at the U.S. Treasury, and all 4 bills are there for being recycled. So the 20 comes out and says, where he's been. He said, I've been to all these great restaurants. It's been awesome. And the $10 bill goes, well, I've been to every fast food place available, McDonald's, Burger King, etc. So now comes the $5 bill. And he goes, I have been to every coffee house. I've been to Starbucks everywhere. So finally, the 3 bills look over at the $1 bill, and they go, where you been? Church. Sorry. This is going to be short. When I first moved to Portland, my only social connections, my wife and I, were our daughters and our grandchildren. We quickly searched for Unity of Portland, and we feel that this is a big part of our connection. A spiritual center has always been critical to me. I grew up Catholic, and I was an altar boy for 8 years. And the church I went to, those people are still all my really, really close friends and family. When I moved to Houston, I needed a spiritual place. As a Catholic, you can't make a big conversion, so I went to St. Paul's, Methodist. So I went to Methodist, which is known as Catholic Light. So I did 20 years there, and it was a great experience. And again, some of my closest and best friends came from there. When I met my wife, she introduced me to Unity. And Unity resonated with me because although I love my Catholicism, there were a lot of things that Catholicism didn't talk to me about. Some of the doctrine were an issue. As this holiday season is upon us, I think Portland is a great example of seeing this portion of wealth, seeing the tents and all of that. And we are all, I would say everybody here is blessed that we have a roof over our heads. And unity is very, very important to us. And this new place that I belong and this family I belong to is critical to me. You accept everyone for who they are, no matter what their social situation is, what their personal life is. This is this place that is important to me. So that is why my wife and I are committed to this holiday, and also we're committed to 2026. This is our new home, and we feel very welcome. And without it, I don't think I would be as happy in Portland. So I want to thank you very much.
Thank you, Joe and Reverend Curdy. What a blessing. Thank you, thank you. And so we have this opportunity. We invite all of you into our holiday giving campaign. I know that we have $10,000 as a match, and I believe we are at about $14,000 at this point. And so or maybe it might be up to $15,000. I just invite you to be a part of that match and of just opening to this journey, to this sacred journey. And we say our blessing. The ways to give are in the backs of your seats if you aren't familiar with those. And if you are, then let's go on to our blessing, which is, we're going to say, divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Amen.
Winter's here, it's the time of year to celebrate the season. Family and friends, the joy never ends. Our connection is the reason, and the very best part is the love in our hearts. Be the light that shines in the dark. Be the hope. All it takes is a spark. If love is to be, it all starts with you and me. Be the light, be the light, be the light. Like a candle flame in a window pane, or embers burning by the fireside. As we celebrate, we illuminate. The light we shine is multiplied, and the angels sing with the love that we bring. Be the light that shines in the dark. Be the hope. All it takes is a spark. If love is to be the hope.
All it takes is a spark.
If love is to be, it all starts with you and me. Be the light, be the light, be the light.
Be the light. Be the light. Be the light.
Be the light.
All right. Oh, thank you, thank you. And that invitation for joy always includes our youth. In just a moment, we are going to sing them in. I would invite you to allow the love that is the truth of your being to flow forth from you, to encircle this walkway into which they come, and to remember that their hearts say yes to this sacred journey, and we can say yes to them just as they are.
You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you. You are the star of the morning. You are heaven smiling at us. You're God's gift of tomorrow. Oh, how we love you. Oh, how we love you.
Sweetheart. Hi. Oh, you. Yes. Oh, it's over here. Sorry.
My name is Emmeline, and today we played some games.
We played Christmas games today.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
My name is Anna, and we finished the 12th power, and it's life, and it's red. And I just wanted to say that you can have happy memories for your life. And when you have happy memories, you take them to heaven with you. That's real good.
Hello, everyone. So we still have some wreaths left. We have 6 22-inch wreaths. I believe we're going to give them for love offering, so whatever you feel you would like to give to us, but they are a fundraiser for the youth, so just keep that in mind when you're doing love offering. And, yep, we will be at the shed right after service, so if you want a wreath, there's 6 left, and you can just come meet us by the shed and pick it up.
All right.
I just wanted to share about their pictures that they made. They've made all the 12 powers through the year, and they hang in the back on the window, and you might have recognized them. But that's what they are, and that's from the Uniteam group, and they've completed life today, right? Okay. And then I also, for those of you that was here for Santa Claus and had pictures taken for yourself or your children, the photographer's downstairs, and if you go over to him, he will email you your picture. So those of you that had your picture taken, don't pass this up. It might be a while before you get the printed picture.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. And after the service, we will be doing, there's a short information time about the the image books. Claire and I will be in the chapel. We invite you to join us downstairs for Connection Hour. It's a wonderful opportunity just to learn each other's names and to say, how are you? Who are you? What is the journey that you walk? Oh, what? Oh, thank you. I did not announce. Reverend Sydney will be doing the message next Sunday. So if for those of you who are here when she was here, she'll be in town and she will be sharing with us next Sunday. We also invite you for our Christmas Eve service at 5 p.m. and our New Year's Eve service at 7 p.m. All right, we are going to stand and join hands if you'd like and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth and Let It Begin with Me.
Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are free. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
All right, and we get to close with our unity prayer. Then we will sing our youth out so they can get downstairs before we do. They take longer on the stairs. So we just say, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Thank you, God. Have a love-filled week. Okay, are we ready?
I'm gonna move to the light. I'm gonna speak of the light. I'm gonna sing with the light. I'm gonna dance in the light. When I choose to remember that Spirit is all, I rejoice and give praise and shine in the light. Yeah, I shine. I'm gonna move to the light.